A monarchy is a system of government in which the ruler or rulers are chosen based on their ancestry. In a monarchy, there are established rules that specify who can be named the head of the state. Although most are controlled by kings or queens, some also let a group of nobles serve as the government's top officials. Throughout history, royalty has always been associated with wealth and power. Before the modern era of republics and parliamentary governance, royal families were at the helm of power for the majority of the world's history. These families, especially the great royal families of Europe, are responsible for shaping the world we see today. Some of these families have gruesome records, like King Leopold II of Belgium, who committed the worst of human rights violations in Congo, effectively claiming ownership over the Congolese people and their resources. The British royal family also played a great role and benefited a lot from the transatlantic slavery and slave trade. Several royal families have either been removed from power or turned into constitutional monarchies, like the British royal family. The majority of the other non-European royals still enjoy sovereignty and power. A good example is the royal family of Saudi Arabia, with Mohammed bin Salman as crown prince and heir to the throne. The royal families of the world may have greatly lost their influence and wealth, but it's safe to say they're nowhere near being broke. These families still hold vast amounts of wealth for future generations, with the benefit of tax-free inheritance, as is the case for the British monarch. But which royal families are the wealthiest in the world right now, and which have fallen from glory? Today we're going to be finding out exactly which royal families still have bragging rights. Here are 15 of the wealthiest royal families in the world in 2022. 15. The Royal Family of Norway, $30 million. First on our countdown is the Royal Family of Norway. The Scandinavian monarchies are among the world's oldest. Indeed, the Norwegian monarchy dates back to 885 AD. But in addition to being among the world's longest-standing monarchies, the Scandinavian royal families are also among the wealthiest in Europe. The current ruler of the Norwegian monarchy is King Harald V. He ascended the throne on the 17th of January 1991 and is even the second cousin of the recently deceased and former Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II. The royal family of Norway has an estimated net worth of about $30 million, but it is almost unbelievable that they are the least wealthy royals in Scandinavia. The majority of the royal family's wealth is comprised of privately owned assets like real estate and antiques, as well as monies granted by the Norwegian government. 14. The Danish royal family, $40 million. The Danish royal dynasty, which is also of Scandinavian ancestry, is one of the world's oldest kingdoms, with origins dating back to the 8th century. Queen Margaret II, the head of the Danish royal family, has been the country's head of state since 1972. She is presently the lone queen among the world's monarchy, a position she formerly held with the late Queen Elizabeth II of England. Additionally, at 82 years old, she is now the oldest queen in Europe. The financial value of the Danish royal family is believed to be roughly $40 million, which mostly originates from the royal privilege provided by the Danish parliament every year as part of the state budget. The Queen, however, owns other assets belonging to the Danish royal family, the largest one of which is real estate, and the expenses associated with maintaining these estates must be covered by royal laws. 13. The Swedish royal family, $70 million. The history of the Kingdom of Sweden spans more than 1,000 years. Its kings may be recognized by name and approximate year, starting with Erik Segersal in the late 10th century. The founding of contemporary Sweden is frequently credited to Gustav Vasa, who rose to power in 1521. King Carl Gustav XVI of Sweden, who has held the throne since September 19, 1973, is the country's longest-reigning head of state in history, surpassing King Magnus IV's 44 years and 222 days of rule. The Swedish royal family's net worth is believed to be over $70 million, which is a large sum of money by conventional measures, but nothing in comparison to the other monarchies we'll see later. The Swedish government grants money to the Swedish royal family annually for performing official tasks and running the palace. The Swedish royal family also enjoys property and stock holdings. 12. The Monaco royal family, $1 billion. A little city-state on the French Riviera is one of the richest in the world, and 32% of its citizens are millionaires, with the royal family standing out from the crowd as the only billionaires in the area. The dynasty originated in Genoa in 1160, and after Francesco Grimaldi took Monaco in 1297, it became the Royal House of Monaco. One of the oldest monarchs in Europe, the House of Grimaldi has controlled Monaco for more than 700 years. Prince Albert II is Monaco's current prince. He is the child of Prince Rainier III and Grace Kelly, a well-known American actress before her 1956 wedding to him. Since Monaco is a popular tourist destination and stages glitzy events like the Monaco Grand Prix and the Monaco Yacht Show, it is clear that Monaco's touristic prowess and events greatly contribute to the riches of the House of Grimaldi. The royal family of Monaco is thought to be worth $1 billion. 11. The royal family of Bahrain, $2.5 billion. Also known as the House of Khalifa, it is recognized as the ruling house of Bahrain and has been in power for several decades. They were never native to this region and, at one point in time, lived in Central Arabia. Bahrain's king, Hamad bin Isa al Khalifa, has been in power since 2002. The House of Khalifa is comprised of many members, and many of these members have been appointed to cabinet posts amongst the ministers. The estimated net worth of the House of Khalifa is about $2.5 billion, which is not a surprise as Bahrain is a land blessed with natural resources, such as oil and gas, which account for 11% of the country's GDP and 70% to 86% of state revenue. Most royal families own residential and presidential palaces. The most prominent palace the Bahraini royal family owns is the Al Shakir Palace, which is an architectural marvel. In assets, the royal family has numerous yachts, the most famous being the Elway. In addition to assets, they also own private jets, real estate, and majority shares in oil cooperatives, such as the Bahrain Petroleum Company. 10. The Liechtenstein royal family, $4.4 billion. You will have a difficult time finding this nation if you are not from Austria or Switzerland. Across the Rhine River sits the small alpine nation of Liechtenstein. In the middle of jagged mountain peaks, the state is nestled between Switzerland and Austria. With a net value of around $4.4 billion, this little nation's royal family is among the richest in the entire globe, and its rulers, the Liechtenstein family, are among the wealthiest people in both Europe and the entire world. The majority of the monarchy's property is held by Prince John Adam II of Liechtenstein. Being in charge has significant benefits because the family's enormous revenue from the family-owned LTG Bank is not taxed. 9. The Moroccan royal family, $8.2 billion. The only African royal family affluent enough to make this list, they are also one of the oldest families on the list, with origins stretching back to the 13th century. Since they have ruled Morocco for the past 500 years, it should come as no surprise that this has been a very lucrative endeavor. The aggregate fortune of the 19 members of the Moroccan royal family is roughly $8.2 billion. The Moroccan king, King Mohammed VI, who also receives an annual income of about $500,000, is the rightful owner of the majority of this fortune. However, this huge payment only pays for half a month's worth of the family's palace's upkeep in Fez. Around $960,000 is thought to be the royal palace's operational budget. For the majority of rulers, one palace will be sufficient. 12 of these mansions, each costing not less than $500,000, are owned by King Mohammed VI. 8. The Dubai royal family, $19 billion. Also known as the House of Maktoum, it is in charge of Dubai. There are hundreds of extended family members and 12 major members of the royal dynasty. Together, they transformed a section of barren desert into a haven for the richest people of the time. They amassed a massive wealth of $19 billion during this shift. Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the head of the household and the ruler of Dubai, is the richest of them all. The Sheikh also serves as Vice President and Prime Minister of the United Arab Emirates. Investments in Dubai Holdings and Darley Stud, the greatest horse racing breeding facility in the world, helped this family build their wealth. Along with these industries, Dubai is also endowed with abundant natural resources, the most important of which are oil and gas, and this has significantly increased the fortune of the Maktoum family. They also possesses a sizable number of opulent homes all around the world. Let us know if you're enjoying our video by hitting the like button and commenting below. Let's look at the 7th richest royal family. 7. The Royal Family of Brunei, $30 billion. Also known as the House of Bolkiah, the royal family has ruled Brunei for over 8 centuries. Despite being under British and other occupations, they have done a fantastic job during that time, not so much for the nation and its people as for themselves. The Brunei royal family is thought to be worth $30 billion. The Istana Nurul Amin, often known as the Light of Fate Palace, is home to Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah, the Grand Sultan of Brunei. It is the biggest residential palace in the world. The huge oil riches of Brunei were the main source of the royal family's $30 billion net wealth. The Sultan is rumored to own hundreds of supercars, including 600 Rolls-Royces and 300 Ferraris, in addition to a number of private planes. What do you think? 6. The Royal Family of Thailand, $60 billion. King Maha Vajiralongkorn, the late King Bhumibol Adulyadej's lone son and Thailand's longest reigning monarch in history, is the head of the country's royal family. Their enormous fortune, estimated to be worth $60 billion, was largely made possible by the Crown Property Agency. The holding that manages the royal funds receives around half of its total assets. The 3 primary assets that make up the royal family's riches are a 23% ownership position in Siam Commercial Banks, one of the biggest commercial banks in Thailand. The Financial Times estimates that the bank is worth $1.7 billion. 1,600 acres of valuable Thai property, 40,000 rental contracts with developers, and a $33.6 billion investment in Siam Cement Group, the largest industrial conglomerate in the nation. 5. The British royal family, $88 billion. Known as the House of Windsor, the British royal family is headed by the King Charles III. He recently succeeded his mother, who held the title of the longest ruling monarch in the world, Queen Elizabeth II, until her death on the 8th of September 2022. The British may not be the richest royal family in the world, but they are surely the most influential. According to Forbes, the British royal family is worth over $88 billion, most of it in real estate in Great Britain. The family's portfolio has around $10 billion worth of properties, among which are prized palaces like Windsor Manor and Buckingham Palace. Typically, when it comes to royal families, the king and queen are usually the richest. However, it is different for the British royal family. The richest among them will never even ascend the throne. The late Queen Elizabeth II's net worth of $500 million is only 10% of her great-granddaughter's $5 billion. Princess Charlotte, who is only 7 years old, has outstanding wealth thanks to her parents, making her a baby fashion icon. King Charles' heir, Prince William, replaces him as the Prince of Wales, which has been the official title of the heir to the British throne since King Edward I made his 16-year-old son and heir the Prince of Wales in the year 1301. 4. The Royal Family of Abu Dhabi, $150 billion. The Al Nahyan dynasty is Abu Dhabi's royal family. Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the ruler of Abu Dhabi and president of the United Arab Emirates since 2022, leads this family. The Sheikh also serves as chairman of the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, which manages assets worth more than $696 billion. The Abu Dhabi royal family is worth a remarkable $150 billion, a substantial portion of which was gained from the oil trade, with the Emir being one of London's richest landlords with $7.1 billion in real estate assets. The royal family also owns multiple 7-star hotels, as well as the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. As you might imagine, the Al Nahyan family doesn't live in a barrel and a gutter, but in a lavish palace filled with all kinds of luxuries. The royal palace of Qasr Al Watan costs roughly $2 billion and is one of the biggest in the world. 3. The Royal Family of Qatar, $335 billion. The Qatari royal family, or the House of Thani, which governs Qatar, is led by Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the world's youngest emir at 41 years old. He was named emir in 2013. Since the middle of the 19th century, this family has controlled Qatar. The staggering net wealth of the Qatari royal family is $335 billion. Of course, the export of fossil fuels is the major source of revenue. Nevertheless, the family owns a number of real estate holdings, some of which include the Shard skyscraper in London, the Olympic Village in the UK's capital, and the Harrods department store. They own shares of Volkswagen, Barclays, British Airways, and the Empire State Building in New York. The Royal Palace in Doha, which is valued at more than $1 billion, is where the family resides. Also, the Qatar family does, strangely, possess more land in Britain than the British royal family. The Thani family, with its vast collection of automobiles, jets, and other opulent possessions, has spent billions on luxury and class. They allegedly even offered FIFA officials bribes to allow them to host the World Cup finals this year, but that's a tale for another day. 2. The Royal Family of Kuwait. $360 billion. The Al Sabah family is the royal family of Kuwait and is headed by Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmad Al Jaber Al Sabah, the current emir of Kuwait. This dynasty has been ruling Kuwait since 1752 and has accumulated a vast $360 billion in wealth in the process. Some even say that this amount is way too small as to what this royal family is worth in 2022. Although a large portion of their wealth comes from oil exports, the family benefits significantly from assets worldwide, especially in America, by buying gigantic stakes in about every major blue-chip company. The family is famous for its lavish lifestyle. Their lavish lifestyle includes exotic animals and many luxuries that not many can afford. 1. The Royal Family of Saudi Arabia. $1.4 trillion. Sitting at the top spot in our countdown is the Saudi Arabian royal family, also known as the House of Saud. This royal family with extreme wealth has been ruling Saudi Arabia, whose name was coined from the family name in 1744. The family is headed by the current king of Saudi Arabia, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, who is reportedly the wealthiest member of the family. The royal family of Saudi Arabia is worth an unimaginable sum of $1.4 trillion. They are the richest royal family in the world, and they certainly don't hide it. While $1.4 trillion is a colossal number, it's extended to about 15,000 family members, which diminishes its value a bit. Still, the royal family has extravagant taste and certainly knows how to live a luxurious and classy lifestyle. For the Saud family, if it's not gold-plated, then it's not valuable to them. This includes planes, yachts, and furniture. Their property portfolio is as big as one could imagine, owning prime real estate in France, Belgium, the UK, and the world at large. The kingdom's crown prince Mohammed bin Salman has a taste for enjoying only the finer things in life. On December 2017, a number of sources reported that bin Salman, using his close associate Prince Badr bin Abdullah bin Muhammad Al Farhan as an intermediary, had bought Salvator Mundi by Leonardo da Vinci. The painting was bought at an auction for $450 million, which of course set a new record price for the work of art. Bin Salman has traveled widely over the globe, interacting with celebrities, businessmen, and politicians. He visited Silicon Valley on June 2016 and spoke with influential figures in the U.S. high-tech sector, including Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook. During his visit to the country at the beginning of 2018, he had meetings with a number of politicians, business leaders, and celebrities, including then-President Trump, Bill and Hillary Clinton, Henry Kissinger, Michael Bloomberg, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Oprah Winfrey, Rupert Murdoch, Richard Branson, Mayor Eric Garcetti of Los Angeles,